Are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, it's Tuesday already. Actually, it is Giving Tuesday. It is Giving Tuesday. Hopefully, many of you have taken advantage of this national day of giving, where you are now not only securing the donations that you had last year, but that you are also growing your database, okay? That you are growing your database today. One of the things that I am super excited about is that you all have an opportunity to be fully funded. What does it mean to be fully funded? I know that many of you, or I'm assuming many of you, based upon the conversations that I've had, thank you for the hearts. I appreciate you. That one of the challenges that you guys have is not having enough donors, right? Not being able to identify donors, not being able to engage donors, not being able to get donations coming in every single month, every single day. You guys, that is how it's supposed to happen. Your organizations are intended to be supported by your community, and that ongoing support is where your organization needs to aspire to be in order for you to be able to have the resources that you need, in order to be able to deliver the program that you need, in order to be able to hire the staff that you need so that you're able to implement and execute your organizational programs on a daily basis, right? Is that anybody? Is that anybody? Listen, guys, I am Jennifer Yarbrough. I am your nonprofit expert. I've been working in this industry for over 30 years and I ain't tired yet. You guys, we do the work that government cannot do, that businesses cannot do, and you were set up and established to meet a real need in your community, right? And so in order for you to deliver your programs, I know that one of the challenges that you all have is retaining donors. Retaining donors. Is that anybody? Is that you saying, Jen, I don't have any donors? We're doing events. You guys are doing events where you're looking for donations, right? You're looking for people to buy a ticket or to be a part of an auction or, to purchase something from you. And listen, product is a part of your income stream. But in order for your organizations to be at a place where you are fully funded, what does fully funded mean? Fully funded means is that you are positioning your organization as an expert in your field, among your audience, right? If you're serving the homeless, if you're serving youth, if you're serving elderly, if you're serving the veterans, you now are sharing this expertise with the community that doesn't know anything about your need. Okay, so how do you do that? I know many of you are like, well, Jen, how do I do that? And when I say to you guys, articulate impact, what does that mean? That means that you are being able to communicate to your supporters, to your community, to your sponsors, to your donors, and even sharing this information with your volunteers and with your board members to express how people come into your organization, what the problems are that bring them to your organization, and that your activities, that's your program, your activities implemented and executed enable them to leave a certain way. The leaving is the impact. All right. So they come in one way and they leave. They exit your program whole, restored. They've got the resources, they've got the knowledge, they've got the information to go on to do what your vision forecasts that they will be able to do. Is that clear? Now, let me say this. In order for us to identify and retain donors, that is the way that we're going to be fully funded. As a professional fundraiser, the only way that organizations can continue to get donations in month after month, week after week, how do we do that? We do that by retaining donors. Now, I know that many of you all have heard the saying, that all nonprofits do is beg. All we do is beg. And that's not true. That's not true. We're not begging for money. We are giving people an opportunity to help us achieve impact. We are not begging for money. Now, listen, when we're focused on money and when we're only looking at people as if they're money, then we're begging for money, right? But we're not looking at as our community as walking checkbooks. That's not what we're doing. We are offering a service. We are providing transformation. We are changing and improving our community. They should support that improvement. How do we invite them to do that? We invite them to do that by seeing the evidence of our impact. All right? That's the articulation of impact. That's the articulation of impact. That's not saying the activities that we do. That's saying that the activities that we do are changing how. Individuals are coming into our organization and they are broken, they are disenfranchised, they are hurt, they are abused, right? They have been given up by life circumstances, either through homelessness, either through lack of education, either through lack of mentoring or coaching, or having someone who is stable in their life, right? They come into our program and we give them quality programs. We give them 3 weeks of programs that cover the areas of self-esteem, empowerment, leadership. We give them tools and resources so that they not only are hearing this information, but they are putting it into practice. And at the end of our organization, at the end of our program, they are leaving our program restored. They're able to get a job. 90% of them are able to get a job. 90% of them are able to show that they've improved their grades. You guys want to be able to share that with the community support, with the ongoing support of the community, we are able to now reach more people. Did you guys hear what I just said? You want to learn to speak about the impact of what you do, not the activity of what you do. 98% of donors give because of impact. All right? So how do we get fully funded? The first thing is that we've got to retain donors. If you now, knowing that it is Giving Tuesday, right? Are you reaching a goal? Are you achieving your goal? Are you giving people an opportunity who gave last year to give again? This is how we retain donors, that we make sure that the people who gave before are encouraged, are invited, are motivated, are inspired to give again. What encourages, motivates, inspires for them to give again? We've communicated to them beyond Giving Tuesday. I say, listen, Wednesday after Giving Tuesday is going to be a great time. Wednesday after Giving Tuesday is a time when you can begin that retention process. That the people who have given to you today, how do we retain our donors, Jen? How do we retain them? How do we get them to give again? You're sending out acknowledgments. You're sharing testimonies. You're sharing your vision and your clarity of what you're going to be able to do with their resources going into 2019. You are expressing to them how through their contribution, your organization is not only going to reach your financial goal, but through reaching your financial goal, your organization is going to be able to serve the number of people that you set out to serve this year. You're going to be able to touch and impact lives in a meaningful way. You're going to be able to restore families. You're going to be able to place them in jobs. You're going to be able to ensure that they have permanent housing. Do you understand what I'm saying? That you all must be able to retain your donors by being able to speak about how their support enables your organization to continue to achieve impact. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Listen, y'all, I'm trying to break this thing all the way down for you. Okay, for those of you all who are new to me, I am Jennifer Yarbrough. I am your nonprofit expert. I've been doing this work for over 30 years, and I love what I do. I love helping nonprofit leaders really establish and set their organizations. Your organization is more than a piece of paper. And your nonprofit is just a designation. That's all it is. It just says tax exempt. It's just a designation. You got for profit, not tax. You got to pay your taxes, right? Tax nonprofit means tax exempt. That's all it means. It does not mean that you cannot make a profit. It does not mean that you must pay for this out of your pocket. It does not mean that you must do it for free. That is not what it means. That is not what it means. Hello, somebody. You know, I speak to people all the time, and they're always saying to me, Jen, I didn't know I could get paid. Jen, I didn't know I could make a profit. Jen, I just thought I went into it and that I was going to have to give it out of my pocket, right? Many of you were saying, well, Jen, I didn't do it for the money. I did it because I just really wanted to make a difference. And I'm saying that's wonderful. Well, listen, if you're not going to utilize your community's resources, then you don't need to be a nonprofit. You don't need to be a nonprofit if you're not going to utilize the community's resources. But you're saying, well, Jen, I just thought that if they gave me a donation, that they would want to write it off. Listen, if they're giving you a hat or a backpack, that is nothing that they can write off. All right? What you want them to be able to write off is the ongoing support for your organization. That's what they write off. They don't write off a backpack. They don't write off $10. They don't write off $20. Okay? That is not the incentive. Your community must know that your organization is there to meet a need. This mystery of not having enough resources, this mystery of not having a month-to-month sustainability plan, I don't understand it. Right? Because that's not how this is set up. That's not how this is set up. And I've worked with thousands of organizational leaders, nationally and internationally. And so I am excited when I give an opportunity to share with you all really truly how to be fully funded. It is not outside of your reach. I know many of you right now are struggling financially because you're paying for things out of your pocket. You're using your personal finances. Many of you are not understanding how come no one is supporting the work that I do, and you all are doing great work. You guys are achieving great things. You have got amazing, amazing programs. But what do we need? We need funding. There's no shame in that. There is no shame in that. It takes money to pay for the gas. It takes money to pay for the materials and supplies. It takes money to purchase and to rent these resources and these places where you're holding your program. It takes money. It takes money. It takes money. It takes money to pay for the utilities. It takes money. It takes money to pay for the gas. It takes money. Takes money to feed for those after school programs. It takes money to print all those booklets and supplies and materials. It takes money. It takes money. So then our job is to know that the resources that it takes, how do we communicate? How do we justify that? It's not that we're begging for money, you guys. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. You want to leave your job and you want to do this full time. It takes money to pay your salary, right? It takes money to pay your salary. I talk to many of you every day and you're like, Jen, I want to do this full time, but I got bills to pay. I'm like, everybody got bills to pay. Even the people that you helping got bills to pay. Right? So how then do we have the conversation that it's not about money? The money is used as a tool to help you achieve impact. What is impact, Jen? Impact says, I see the need. Our program, which is designed strategically to change them when they come in one way, they leave a different way. All right? The money is these resources that we're needing to purchase, these books, these materials, these supplies are used for what? It's not just I need money so that I can make photocopies. What are we making photocopies of? We're making photocopies of manuals. We're making photocopies of guides. We're making photocopies of templates and tools and resources that the people who are in our program are going to be able to use to change, to transform, to uplift, to motivate, to give them what they need to think differently, to give them what they need to live differently. So it's not the piece of paper that we're giving them, it is the assistance that we're giving them. And the information on the paper that we've got a photocopy is what's important. Okay? This idea of how is it done, it comes with articulating impact. Guys, I'm a professional fundraiser. I'm a grant writer. I'm a nonprofit executive leader, and I've been doing this work for a long time. And I say to you all every day, how do we position ourselves in our community to not only deliver an impactful and amazing program? In order for that to continue, then your organization has got to stand above the rest. How does your organization stand above the rest? You've got to be able to articulate. You've got to be able to say, what is it that you do? That's how you fundraise, right? That's how you get a grant. That is how you sustain your donors. This is not a mystery. This is not a mystery. It is a process. It is a system. It is a deliberate system. What is the system, Jen? The system is, I've got a program that is meeting a need. All right? You've got to be able to articulate that. What is the need, and how is our organization being that solution? What is the problem that our organization is solving? Right? You've got to be able to then speak to the capacity. How many people are in need of this service in my community? Because that's going to tell you how many people you're going to have to serve or grow to serve. Okay, so if it's thousands, if it's two, if it's 10,000, whatever that number is, you now are sharing within your community. The need is great. Our organization is unique. Why? Because we're not duplicating services. And we're unique how? Not that we're just unique, but we're unique how, right? So sis, you are serving families who, autistic families, right? So you want to be able to set yourself apart from those other those other services that serve families with autism, right? Autistic families, assist families. You want to be able to share how your organization, not duplicating, but is filling a gap that is not yet being filled, right? How you communicate that. How you communicate that to identify new donors, to retain your current donors, right? To grow the current donor base that you have by saying, listen, you've been supporting our organization for well over a year, and we are so happy to report that we've been able to grow and fulfill our plan and our mission for 2018. We're super excited as we go into 2019, and we are expecting and anticipating that we're going to be able to do even greater in 2019. And we are counting on we're counting on your ongoing support, that we together are going to be able to change lives. We together are going to be able to transform lives, not just in the areas of the lives of the people that we serve, but in the way of our community. We're going to be stronger. We're going to be more connected. We're going to be safer. We are going to be able to see the result of your organization. Is that true? Is that true? I bet it is. I bet it is. We are a community-based organization. We serve the people within our community who are the most vulnerable, who are disenfranchised, who are abused. How does that impact our community? Okay? You want to be able to share the impact of your program. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? So now, where do the donations come from? Well, Jen, how do we get fully funded? Right? Because I've been trying to get a grant and that hasn't worked. I've been doing all of these events, but I'm barely breaking even. Is that anybody? I've been doing all these events, Jen. I'm barely breaking even, and I'm even having to pay for that out of my pocket. And it's still not enough to do what? To grow your donor base. Right? Yes, ma'am. So what can we do differently? What can you do? I want you to feel empowered. I want you to feel empowered. You are not left vulnerable. No, you are in this to change. Your nonprofit, I bet, you guys let me know if I'm wrong, but I've been doing this a long time. So if I'm wrong, just say, Jen, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, all right? You don't have enough resources right now. Right now, you don't have enough resources, right? You've got a great vision, and some of you are afraid that the vision is too big, right? You're thinking, oh my God, Jen, this thing is so big. And the only reason that you think it's too big is because you're not secure in how to fundraise to complete it, to fulfill it. That's the only reason you think it's too big. You're thinking it's too big because you're like, I don't have what it takes to do what I need to do now. And if it were really what I think it's going to be, I still am stuck, right? So not having enough resources is a very real concern, right? I don't have enough resources, Jen. I don't have enough personal help. I don't have enough board help. I don't have enough financial help. Is that anybody? Is that anybody? I've got a vision, but I don't know how to start. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to engage a donor around a conversation. And most of that is because you've never done it. That's it. That's it. I just want you to inhale and exhale. I just want you to say, that's only because I've never done it. That's it. Right? It's not like you can't learn to do it. Is that you? Is that you? Guys, I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. The work that you do, all you got to do is say, Jen, show me how. That's it. That's it. This is not something that 1.8 million nonprofits are doing. Guys, I work for the American Red Cross. I work for Girl Scouts of the USA. I work for the Black AIDS Institute. I work for the NAACP. I've raised hundreds of millions of dollars. I've written for $240 million in grants. Money is not your problem. Money is not your problem. Knowing how to engage your donors. Is that what you need to know? If you were to say to me, Jen, all I need to know is what do I say and how do I say it? That's all you want to know, right? You want to know, how do I say it? What do I say? Is that what you want to know? That's what I teach people every day. I had a lady, how can we get your help? Listen, I've got classes, I've got resources. I'm actually going to be in Atlanta on Friday. I'm doing a fully funded live on Friday in Atlanta. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's $197. I bet we're going to fundraise while we're in the room. We are going to fundraise while we're in the room. I'm going to give you guys some scripts while you're in the room with me. What? You guys are going to be able to reach out while you are in the room with me, right? You're saying, Jen, I don't have any donors. I'm going to say, tell me. Have we done an event? Have we done anything? We're going to reach out right there in the room. Right there in the room. I'm going to show you guys exactly what to do. We're going to write letters. We're going to plan. We're going to plan your events. I know y'all got these events coming around. Y'all like, Jen, I got another event. Jen, I got another event. All right. We're going to fundraise with these events. Okay. We're going to raise money, not break even. How about that? How about we're going to raise money, not break even? The only way that our organizations are going to be fully funded is that you've got to know all the streams of income. There are 7 streams of income that I'm going to go over with you all on Friday. 7. How many are y'all using? How many are y'all using? Most people use grants or trying to use grants, right? Many of you guys are working to hire a grant writer. Listen, I am a professional grant writer. I am a grant writer. And I tell people, please don't pay me to write your grants. Please don't pay me to write your grants. Let me show you how to raise money every day. Let me show you how to raise money every day, because grants are episodic, right? You write a proposal, you may or may not get it. Now, I'm a grant writer and I love me a good grant, honey. I wrote my first grant when I was an intern. I wrote that grant. It was for $250,000. It was a drug and alcohol elimination grant. I will never forget it. Out by HUD. It was a HUD grant, and I was a student, y'all. I was a student. I didn't know what the dang devil I was doing. I wrote it as a class assignment. As an intern at the Kingsport Housing Authority in Kingsport, Tennessee, I wrote for close to $2 million as a student. I didn't know what I was doing. But let me tell you what I learned. Let me tell you what I learned now 33 years later. Let me tell you what I learned. as having worked in the nonprofit, being the executive director, guys, I've sat in your seat. I know exactly what you're going through. You're like, Jen, I got to run this board. I got to be networking. I got to deliver the program. I got to do the budget. I've got to get staff. I got to do you got to do everything, right? So I understand wearing all the hats. What did I learn? I learned how we have to fundraise every day so that we don't keep wearing all these hats. That's what I learned. I learned that unless I figured out how to raise some money, I was going to end up having to do everything every single day, year after year after year after year. I can't keep saying I ain't got no money to hire nobody. Now, that is not going to be an option. Are you with me? Guys, I'm not telling you something that I've not done. And I'm not telling you what I've not helped thousands of leaders do. All right? It was my job. It was my job. They paid me to help leaders raise money for their organizations. Right? I do have a mentor program. Yes, I do. I do. I have lots of clients that I coach. One of my clients is in Africa right now. She told me when she came to me in May, she was not where she is now. I got an email from her last night, and we're about $100,000 short of her meeting her financial goal for the year. We're about $100,000 short. And she just got notified yesterday that one of her current donors increased their donation over last year. All right. So I've got them on a path of being fully funded in 2019. Right now, we're like on our way. I'm helping another organization raise, we're increasing her budget from 50,000 to close to 400,000 going into 2019, because that's the only way that she's going to be able to hire staff. The only way that she's going to be able to hire staff is to get ongoing support. Right? She needs program director. She needs administrative assistant. She needs a couple of interns so that she can get out of program and begin to do the administrative work. And so I'm working with her on putting together not just the plan, but the activities. A plan is nothing without the activities, right? You guys already know. You're like, Just and Jen, I'm planning to have an event. The activities is what's going to cause us to make that event a fundraiser. Right? That we're going to raise money. Breaking even is not raising any money. Okay? So listen. Are any of you guys in Atlanta? I think I've got like 4 seats left for Atlanta. It's 197. That's my last training for this year. I'm doing a 3-day in California, January 9th, 10th, and 11th. January 9th, 10th, and 11th. I'm doing a 3-day retreat here in California. And we are, no, I wish you would say, oh my gosh, I was in Missouri earlier this summer. There's a virtual seat. There was a few people who asked me for a virtual seat for Friday. It's all day. It's 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But listen, this is what I want you guys to remember, right? If you don't take anything away from then what I've said, I want you to take away, what is your key message? Okay, the only way for us to identify and engage these donors is to bring them about to the awareness of the need and the problem. Okay, and your organization being the solution. This is how we engage our donors. This is how we get their attention, by letting them know. They know there's a homeless problem, but they don't know exactly what the solution is. Okay, they have an idea of what the solution is, but your organization is the solution. You all are moving people from where they are to where you envision them to be better for themselves and for the community, right? So your organization is a problem solver. We are created to solve a problem in our community, not just to do activities, okay? So the first thing is being very clear about the problem and being very clear about how your organization is the solution. In the workshops that I'm going to be doing coming up, we're going to be listing out these messages, and we're going to be putting them on a calendar. We're going to be able to say on all these social media sites, right? Because this is another thing, guys. Your donors are being inundated with messages from organizations. Back in the day, Because I'm pre-Google. I'm pre-internet. I'm pre-AOL. I'm pre-laptop. I'm pre-cell phone. All right. I'm older than Google, y'all. I'm older than your cell phone. I'm older than your laptop. What else? I'm older than AOL. Some people don't even remember AOL. I'm older than all of that. Okay? I've been doing this longer than that. Back in the day, the only way that you could reach your donors was through mail, right? BC. It's true. It's true. It's true. So, the only way that we could reach our donors was through snail mail, right? I was at the post office the other day, and there was this young man who didn't even know how to fill out the envelope. He was like, "What do I do with this envelope? I don't even, where does the stamp go?" I thought, OMG. Anyway, that was the way we reached our donors, right? We couldn't call them on the cell phone. They didn't have call waiting. They couldn't push your stuff to the voicemail automatically, right? They didn't have any caller ID, so they had to answer the phone. Nowadays, what part of California? We're going to be in Southern California, actually in Pasadena. In Pasadena is where we're going to be January 8th, 9th, and 10th. Nowadays, your donors are inundated. There is so much noise out there from organizations, from donors, and they are being reached in their inboxes. They're being reached on their cell phones. They're being reached in the mail, right? So listen, one individual will give up to 8 to 12 organizations. So I don't want you to feel like no one's going to give to me because they give somewhere else. That's not true. The normal average donor gives to multiple organizations. So I don't want you to feel like they're not going to give to me because they're giving to someone else. You guys do it, right? Are you another? No, I'm in Southern California. I'm in Southern California. So one of the things that I want you all to really focus on is how do you stand apart? How do you rise above the noise and get the attention of your donors? That's through your messaging. You want to connect with what's of interest to them and you. That's how you retain donors. You're saying, listen, what we're doing is of interest to you, and what you're interested in, we're providing those services. Okay? How then do you get your organization into a position of sustainability? Sustainability means I've got resources coming in every single month, every single month. That's how you hire people. You hire people, you put on programs. Why? Because you've got resources coming in every single month, every single month. Wouldn't that be nice? You guys can do this, all right? I promise you, you can do this. You can do this, okay? You can do this every single month, having resources coming into your organization. And then having those resources, what do you say? They say, well, Jen, what if I raise more than I need? What if I raise more than my budget? Then you just serve more people. That's it. You just serve more people. You should make more than you need. Why? Because now you've got the buy-in, you've got the support, you've got the credibility, you've proven your impact, and now people should want to give to you more. Why? So that you can expand your program, so that you can do more programs, so that you can reach more people. Y'all see how that works? It is not set up for you to pay for this thing out of your pocket. And it's not about the money. Say it's not about the money. Turn to your neighbor and say it's not about the money. It's about the impact. 98% of people give because your organization is delivering an impactful program. And they believe in it so that they want it to continue. And because they see the value and because they understand how important it is, they continue to support it so that the impact can continue. That's how this thing works. Hey, inspired woman, do you understand what I'm saying? So when you're saying, Jen, I don't have enough resources, or Jen, I'm not able to retain my donors, my first question is, tell me what impact you're articulating. Tell me what you're saying. Because if we start saying impact, if we start articulating the value and the solution of our organizations, we start expressing, engaging, informing, inspiring around the problem. Listen, you're in a crowded room and somebody yells help, nobody's running away. People are running towards it. They're saying, I want to help. I want to help. How can I get funds for an international organization? I'm working right now for an organization in Africa. We're raising money for her right now. Right now, she's in in Africa. She is amazing. We've got her on a path. She's been working with me since the end of April. Yep. And she just emailed me last night and she said she got another large donation just last night. So we're very close to continue to work with her to get funding. So listen, I worked in Haiti actually. I've done several programs in Haiti. I've done several programs in Haiti. Um, Guys, what I teach, I've done. And I've raised money and I've shown leaders how to raise money nationally and internationally. Okay? Nationally and internationally. That was my job. They hired me to help nonprofit leaders get the capacity. What's the capacity mean, Jen? That not only do you have an impactful program, but you have the means, the tools, right, and the systems to generate income. You cannot generate ongoing income without those systems. What's the system, Jen? That I have the tools, I have the language, I have the knowledge of how to retain donors. In order for your organizations to be fully funded and sustainable, that means I've got to retain donors. How do I retain donors, Jen? There is a system in that. Just work the system. I've got to acknowledge them. I've got to thank them. I've got to invite them. I've got to engage them. I've got to motivate them through our testimonies. I've got to share with them the value and the success of what we do. And once I've done that, I invite them to come and to bring others that they know. They then will become evangelists for your organization. They then will walk away and say, oh my gosh, I'm supporting this amazing organization. They are doing wonderful work. Look, this is how they are acknowledging, or this is how they're changing lives. They will become your evangelists. They will not only give you money, but they will become your evangelists. Okay? I just want to stop in real quick, guys. My goal next year, my intention, I've set my intention. You guys have set your intention. Have you all set your intention for your nonprofit? My intention in 2019 is to go back to work. Going back to work means I'm going to help 1,000 nonprofit organizations be fully funded. That was my job. I got paid for that job well. All right. My program in California is I think up until the 30th. I think up until this Friday, it's $497 right now for 3 days. $497 right now. After Friday, it goes up to $697, right, for 3 days with me. And in those 3 days, we're going to make sure that the elements of your program can be communicated to your various audiences. Okay, the key about articulating impact is that you have to be able to speak to all your various audiences. Okay, so you don't speak to a board member the same way that you speak to a donor. You don't speak to a donor the same way that you would speak to a sponsor, right? You've got to be able to understand their language, which is what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you this, so that you then are able to present to them the impact in the way that they need to see it. Once you guys are able to articulate your impact in an efficient way, you won't even have to ask them for money. They will give because they believe in the ongoing evidence of impact that you've shared. Impact is key. Impact is key, not activity. Okay, so I want to teach you guys how and the key to being fully funded. 1, I've got to have an impactful program. 2, I've got to be able to have a message and a system to retain donors. That's the only way that you're going to be fully funded, right? So you've got grant dollars, you've got products, you've got events, you've got individual donors, you've got major gifts, you've got your online system, you've got your website, you've got all these means and streams for people to give. You want to be able to utilize all these streams so that people have a choice on how to give, right? If you're using your social media, how do we now leverage your message to go rise above the crowd of social media? And listen, somebody hits your post, they're not going to immediately click the red button on your website, right? They're going to want to know more about your organization. They want to come closer to your organization. You're going to want to give them opportunities to see what you do up close through your testimonies, through your stories, through your pictures, right? You want to let them know that what they're investing in terms of impact is sustainable. Okay? And then number 4 is you as the leader have got to position yourself in the community as one who is confident and clear about solution, about the challenges and the obstacles around your audience, and how serving them is going to improve the community overall. Okay? Guys, this is the key to being fully funded. I'm a professional fundraiser. I've worked with organizations and raised hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm a grant writer. I've written for over $240 million that I can remember in grants, okay? I've been doing this work a minute. And I am here as your nonprofit expert to help you do this work, all right? Can I set up an organization that collects funding to distribute to different nonprofits? I'm not sure what that means. Hey, Sans Fan Penny, thanks for coming in, guys. Listen, if you are in the Atlanta area and you can take the day to spend with me live on Friday, I'm going to be in Atlanta from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're going to be training all day. There were a few people who asked me if I would do it virtually for those of you who could not come to Atlanta but want to be a part of that all-day training. You guys can log in through my Zoom. We've got a whole workbook that we're working through. We're going to be doing key messages. We're going to be identifying who our potential partners and collaborators are. I'm going to show you how to do that so you can keep doing it throughout the year. Once you know how, you can continue to do it over and over and over and over and over again. How about this? Once you learn how to do it, you can share that task with your board members, with your volunteers, and with others within your organization. You as the leader, learn so that you can train others to help you. All right? If you're doing it all yourself and if it's all in your head, then you're going to be wore out. That's not how it's set up. Okay? So I know that if I can get you as the leader, the founder, to understand this, then you can share it with your board. Now they are able to identify individuals and partners and collaborators within their network, and they will then be able to share the messaging that we're going to come up with their network, right? So that they're not dragging those people to you. Isn't that how that works? Bring them to me, bring them to me, bring them to me. Now y'all got all these people standing in front of you saying, what? What? You call me? You want your board members to be able to articulate. You want your board members to have the same confidence about the cause and the solution that you have. All right. So many of us, you're going to have to give them those tools so that they can do it. Right. If this is your first time in a nonprofit, running a nonprofit, it possibly is theirs as well. Okay, so we just want to make sure that you are informed so that you can inform others to get that help. Are there any questions? Thank you guys for joining. I see you over on my YouTube channel and on Periscope. If that is it, I'm going to let you guys go. I am Jennifer Yarbrough. I am your nonprofit expert, over 30 years of doing this work. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much for the hearts. I am going to be in Atlanta on this coming Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. My 3-day California trip. We just confirmed the location in Pasadena, California. It's going to be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. January 9th, 10th, and 11th. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in Pasadena. Come and spend 3 days, if not 4. We've got a bonus day on the 8th. Come and spend 3 days, and let's put together your entire annual workshop. All right. Can I sign up for the virtual shop on Friday? Yes. Go to, if you go to paypal.me /JY Consulting, JY Consulting, JY is in Yarbrough, J is in Jen, JY Consulting, paypal.me /JY Consulting. And in the notes, put virtual seat so that I can send you the workbook and the link for Zoom so that you can log in on Friday. All right, so that you can log in on Friday. We're going to have a great day, y'all. We're going to be putting together messaging. We're going to identify roles and responsibilities for your board so that they can help you articulate impact. We're going to be writing letters. I'm going to give you guys templates. Um, we're going to talk about your budget. We're going to talk about all the streams of income that's going to help you achieve that budget. We're going to talk about your strategic annual plan, right? Because you've got to have a plan for sustainability. You've got to have a plan for sustainability. It's not like, oh my gosh, what do I do today? What do I do today? I don't know. I don't know. So you want to be able to be aware and let your donors know, let your board know, let your community know of what's happening based upon your program. Okay, I'm going to walk you guys through all of that on Friday. Okay, on in January, we're going to really be able to build it out. We're going to build it out in those 3 days. Y'all are going to be amazed. Okay, are there any questions? Are there any questions? Join me on Friday. It's 197. That's it. It's 197 on Friday for that whole day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go to paypal.me/JY Consulting. If you are joining me virtually, put virtual seat. If you want to come live, put live, and I will send you the address and the things to bring. They're bringing calculators, they're bringing their laptop because we're reaching out to our donors. We're writing letters of introduction to our community. We're working. We are doing the work on Friday. Y'all not going to sit up there and let me just talk, 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 talk. You guys are actually going to walk away with some tools of how to do it. And we're going to be learning how to articulate our impact. Articulate our impact. We're going to be practicing that right there in front of me so that I can give you guys some tips and some pointers so that you can walk away confident that you can do it all on your own. Isn't that what you want? You're like, Jen, I just want somebody to tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do, and then I'll go do it, right? Just tell me what to do. I'm going to tell y'all exactly what to do. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. Y'all going to do it, in fact. I'm not going to just tell you what to do. Y'all going to do it right there with me holding your hand, all right? With me holding your hand. You guys are awesome. I pray that you all have an amazing day. I wanted to share this because this is Giving Tuesday. And so hopefully you guys are putting into practice those things that are going to help you retain your donors, create your plan for sustainability going into 2019. And that really begins tomorrow. As you guys begin to thank and acknowledge the people who've given to you today. If you don't have any donors today, but you want some, all right, meet me in Atlanta and I'll show you how to approach them, how to speak to them, how to engage them around impact. All right. Y'all have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for liking. And I will see you all later. All right. Blessings.